Hi dear ones, my name is Sarah Lustig and I'm a spiritual activator and a soul harmony coach. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to be talking about creating an atmosphere of divinity in your life and what that means and why that is so important, especially right now, especially in the life that we're living right now, right? There's a lot of chaos in our society. There's a lot of transition that's happening. And so creating a life and an atmosphere of divinity is more important than ever. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this means and why this is something that you want in your life and different ways to do that. So jumping in, creating an atmosphere of divinity is really about slowing down. It's about really noticing the ways in which we are in need of care in our lives and noticing how we can start to meet those needs ourselves and where we might need to reach outside of ourselves to meet those needs sometimes. And so, for example, like maybe you have a need of, you've been really tired lately, and maybe that tired is stemming from not getting quality sleep, but maybe it's also because you're having trouble falling asleep because your mind is racing at night before you fall asleep. And so it's noticing these areas in your life in which you might need some attention. You might need some extra care in those ways. And so it's about really slowing down and noticing all of those ways in which there's a little bit of a need for something. And often what that need is a deeper connection. A deeper connection to ourselves, a deeper connection to the things in our lives, the people in our lives, a deeper connection to the divine itself. And so inviting the divine to be a part of your every single day, inviting the divine to be a part of your process and your routines throughout your day, and allowing there to be a little bit more intention and mindfulness in everything that you do throughout your day. And that's really how we can begin to create this atmosphere of the divine in our lives and embodying more of our own divinity. Because as we start to slow down and as we start to take better care of ourselves, then we also have the opportunity to notice where the divine is working in our life and to notice where the divine is already showing up for us and how they are. And so being aware of what your self-care might look like now and what might also be needed in your self-care, and adding extra intention into that process and into what your routines already look like. So creating, including the divine in your life isn't about doing anything extra necessarily or adding in things that you don't already do, although it might mean that if you are in need of extra self-care. But it also just means, focusing on the things that are working in your life and inviting more divinity into those already. And so we can do that by, really tending to what needs nurturing and nourishment within us by slowing down, which is so important for our chaotic minds that are so busy in our busy lives, that we're constantly being pulled in so many different directions, being pulled by different people's attention or different people's messages or, doubting ourselves, right? All of these different challenges that we face every single day of all of the sensory overload, right? All of this information that comes in that's a lot for our brain to process, a lot for our bodies to process. And so creating this atmosphere is about coming back home to yourself. It's about coming back to the quiet, peaceful, calm you that exists underneath all of that noise, underneath all of that busyness and chaos. There is a quiet you that exists. So just taking a moment to feel that part of you. And acknowledging, like, when's the last time you felt that way or checked in with that part of you, got in touch with that part of you, right? Being able to access that calm part of you more frequently through shifting how you are engaging with sensory input and output of information. And so recognizing the things that help you feel expansive, the things that help you feel open-hearted, the things that help you feel safe, versus the things that help you feel, kind of pulled back or tense, or feeling like you have to shrink, or feeling like you have to hide yourself. So recognizing the things that help you feel really safe and at ease, and the sensations and the sensory things that create that. So for example, what kind of music creates that feeling of ease in your body? Or the feeling of calm, the feeling of love, nourishment, right? What kind of materials create that, right? Like what kind of fabric helps you feel really nourished, helps you feel really, just gently held, helps you feel comfortable, helps you feel relaxed, helps you feel confident, right? So being intentional about what you're wearing, being intentional about the sensations that are taking place in your life, and trying to, as much as possible, surround yourself with things that are going to help you feel relaxed and at ease. Things that are going to help you feel expansive, uplifted, things that are going to help you feel joyful and playful. So paying attention to your sensory input and paying attention to the things that help you feel at ease and relaxed versus the things that make you feel constricted or tense in your body, the things that make you feel more stressed out, or the things that make you feel less comfortable being yourself versus the things that help you feel more comfortable being yourself, okay? For me, things that help me create an atmosphere of divinity in my life are things like nature, and making sure that I have nature or different natural elements in and around me. So that might include, plants. I don't know if you can see, but plants, right? Plants are a big part of creating divinity and creating this atmosphere of divinity for ourselves. Plants are, a gift from the divine, right? Plants help us live. Plants help us breathe. Without trees, right, we wouldn't get that carbon dioxide that helps balance the oxygen that we need, and having that perfect harmony, right? And so inviting plants into your space and having plants in your home is a beautiful way to create an atmosphere of the divine in your space, having living things and alive things. One thing that I love to do is get fresh flowers at least once a month for myself, and this is a beautiful routine that you can always do around the new moon to invite in that new fresh energy and creating intentions around that. And so, inviting in, this element of heaven into your home through having fresh flowers and being able to bring in this warmth and this joy and this frequency of beauty into your space. That is a beautiful way to invite in the atmosphere of divinity in your home and creating a more nourishing environment that fosters this idea of growth, that fosters the symbolism of being able to blossom, right? And so inviting these elements into your home with intention to help you embody even more of these in your own life. Spending time in nature is a great way to also then bring that energy and essence of nature home with us. So being able to go for a hike, and again, notice how your sensory input is on that hike. Like, what are the smells that you experience on that hike? Like, really, what are the sounds that you experience? Taking those things in, smelling the fresh pine that is, that is so fragrant this time of year. Hearing yourself as you're stepping over those crunchy leaves. Noticing the birds that you hear in the environment. Like, really taking in the sensory information, which is divine guidance, which is divine information. And we can embody that by inviting it in even more into our space. So, that's just one way that I love. Other ways, that things that you already do or have to do in your life, is cooking. Cooking is a beautiful way to invite the divine in and create more of that atmosphere for yourself. And so when you're cooking, not just seeing it as like I'm hungry and I need to have something to put in my body so that I'm not hungry anymore, or not seeing it just as this chore that needs to be accomplished as quickly as possible, this thing that is to overcome or to do as quickly as possible, right? Because I understand, like, we're busy, people have really busy lives, and it can be hard to really slow down and like prepare a meal, but it's also really important. It's really it makes a really big difference, and we can really slow down and create more space around this routine where, you are including your intentions into that meal, that when you are preparing what you are preparing, you're actually connecting with it. And so noticing the vegetables that you might be using in your meals, or if you're a meat eater, noticing the meat and really taking in the color and taking in the things that you are cooking with, and noticing the color of them, the texture of them, the size of them, the shape of them, thinking about where they came from, and paying attention to where they came from. Being grateful for all of these things individually, and then being grateful for how they come together to create a nourishing meal for you, how each different element and ingredient comes together to create something that revitalizes you, that restores your life force energy, that is so important to you being able to show up every single day, to be present for your loved ones, to be able to share your heart with the world, right? Like, food is such a big part of that. And food is one way that we can connect to our loved ones, and we can share our love with other people. I was at an event yesterday where somebody prepared, such a beautiful spread of food, and it was just a beautiful expression of their love and them showing their love language to other people. And so, food is such a beautiful way that we can connect and that we can share our hearts with other people. And so when we slow down to create more space around cooking and our process and how we engage with this beautiful act of creation, then it can be more intentional with love, and we can be stirring love into what we're cooking. We can be stirring in grace to what we're cooking, or stirring in appreciation, right? Stirring in gratitude for ourselves, for the harvest that we are cooking with at that moment, for the people that we might be sharing this meal with, right? Or sharing gratitude for the fact that we have this meal when so many people around the world or in our own country aren't eating enough every night, are going to sleep hungry every single night, right? And so really having gratitude for all that we truly have. And as we do that, we invite in more, and we invite in a deeper connection with our community, with our environment, and with the divine. This helps us create a more nourishing environment within ourselves as well, to be able to receive what we are preparing for ourselves, to actually be thinking about it as we're consuming, and not just doing so from a place of mindlessness and just kind of being on autopilot because we are so busy and chaotic in our lives, but really taking that moment to slow down and to be present with the moment, right? There's a reason that we call it the present, because it is such a gift. And not taking it for granted, not taking moments and memories and times with our loved ones for granted, because life is short and life is sweet, and we want to be able to appreciate it and value it. And so food is one of the most, important ways that we can invite in more divine and share our hearts in a more meaningful way with the people that we love. Other ways to do this are like having crystals in your home. I particularly love having crystals in my bedroom, in and around my bed. Shungite is a beautiful crystal to have by your bed. It's one that blocks technology and infrared and things like that. So it can help you not be impacted so much by the technology and EMF and radiation, things like that. help you have more better sleep, quality sleep, help you feel more well rested, help you feel more relaxed and at ease, less nightmares, less sleep disturbances, things like that. So being intentional about different crystals that you place around your home, as I mentioned earlier, plants, having different plants in your bedroom can help with air purification. So it can actually help you sleep better by having different plants in your home. And so having this greenery in your space, having crystals, which are living rocks in your space, which absorb different energies as well and can help clear different energies, can help bring in or embody certain energies that you're trying to call in, helping you find more ease, helping you find more relaxation, helping you calm, helping you bring in more abundance, helping you bring in more love, whatever your intentions might be. And so I invite you and encourage you to research different crystals and their different properties and meanings that might be significant for you, that you might want to include in your home. And just having fun with it and playing around with it and seeing really what resonates with you and what feels good for you to have in your space. Again, like noticing those sensations when you are going to the store, like checking in with like, how does your heart feel being close to these things? I know, for myself, just like being able to hold a crystal and being like, okay, how does this feel? How am I connecting with this? To be able to form that bond and not just like mindlessly picking something up and be like, okay, this looks good, but sometimes that works too. And sometimes that is just our intuition being like, this is what you need, and trusting that, but also like connecting with it and making it a moment of being intentional and really feeling into the space. And so trusting yourself either way. Our morning and evening routines can be especially important places for us to invite in more divinity into our lives and create this atmosphere of more sacred, quiet, nourishing time with ourselves. And so a morning routine way to invite in more sacredness is when you first wake up, when you first are aware of being awake, not just reaching for your phone or not just going into what needs to happen for the day, but taking a moment to really ground yourself in your body. Taking a moment to really connect to your body and making sure that you are actually present and anchored into your body. And we can do this by waking the body up and stretching the body. We can do this by, sensory, like taking in our environment and like opening our eyes and really noticing what is in our space, what feels good, what feels nourishing in our space. We can do this by, listening to the sounds in our space and checking in with that safety and doing a body scan and checking in with like, how does our body feel today? Where does our body maybe need some love? Do we need to do a little bit of stretching? Do we need to, do some jumping jacks or do some light yoga or something like that to help our body wake up a little bit more, to help ourselves ease into the day instead of just jumping straight into the day? And before you even get out of bed, I invite you to make sure that you are starting your day from a place of relaxation. And so listening to music in the morning that helps you feel really relaxed, connecting to your highest and greatest self, connecting to your soul self, right? As soon as you wake up in the morning and inviting that part of you in to be present with you each day, inviting that part of you in to guide you, right? To help you find the way, to help align you to your greatest expression of self that day, to help align you to the greatest expression of your heart, to help you speak through your heart, to help you show up, innately attuned to your intuition, help you show up connected to your internal power, help you show up strong and confident in the world, right? So being able to really set those intentions from the moment that you wake up, being able to connect to those feelings from the moment you wake up. And as you do this, this is how you create a new rhythm and routine with yourself. And you start to allow yourself to feel safe feeling these things more and more. And then this becomes the everyday experience. And this is how we invite the divine into our lives every single day. And so it no longer becomes a separate thing where we have to like go to a retreat to meet the divine within us, or we have to sit and go to a silent meditation or something like that. We can have divine be a part of every single thing that we do by slowing down, by paying attention, by listening to ourselves, by the messages that our team, our ancestors, our guides, our ascended masters are leaving for us, right? Being able to really connect to them each day and setting that intention that we want to invite in those relationships and those authentic connections to be able to guide us and protect us as we go about our journeys. And so making sure that we are starting from this place of intention, we can also do this by inviting in gratitude. And this is a beautiful way to start our day from this place of what are we grateful for, right? Maybe it's waking up in a warm and cozy bed. Maybe it's being grateful for another day to be able to wake up and to be able to see, to be able to experience our lives fully. Sometimes that means overwhelm. Sometimes that means anxiety. Sometimes that means fear and self-doubt. Absolutely. It's not bad. Those are not bad things. Those are all necessary for the joy, for the love, for the peace, for the playfulness and the fun, okay? So being able to have gratitude for all of it, not just the good parts of life, but also the messy parts of life, also the chaotic parts of life, because those are parts that also help refine us and shape us and develop us and expand us to be our authentic selves, to be our true selves in the world. And so those are really important pieces too. So starting with that gratitude and having that gratitude for yourself, for the people in your life who are there for you, to support you, for the beauty that you have around you. And maybe it's simple things like warm running water, the fact that you can get up in the middle of the night and have a fresh toilet that flushes, right? Like not everybody in the world has those things, right? So being grateful for everything that we have, even if it seems simple or basic, and especially those things aren't always, as we've seen in the last couple of years, right? And so being really aware of all that we do have to be grateful for and all of the blessings that really, truly are around us each and every single day. One of those things that I am so grateful for is fresh running water. And being grateful for water, being grateful for how water keeps us going every single day. Our bodies are made up of 70% water. Water is crucial to our health. Water is crucial to our happiness, to being able to thrive as a people. We need fresh water. And so water is an important way to start our day and to invite in more divine energy. We can do this by drinking a glass of water from the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning. Have a glass of 16 ounces of water. And before you drink that water, putting your intentions into the water and being able to connect to that water for a moment. Being able to thank that water for hydrating your body, for jump-starting your body, for turning on your metabolism, for flushing toxins out of your system, for hydrating your brain so that it works well, for hydrating your blood so that your blood flows well, right? Water is so important. And so being able to really connect to this element each and every single day. As I said, you are 70% water. So when you are connecting with water, you are connecting more deeply with yourself. How beautiful, right? And so being able to really speak your intentions into the water. And then as you drink, allowing yourself to really receive those intentions, opening your heart up to receive those intentions, opening your throat chakra up to receive those intentions, opening your solar plexus and your sacral chakra up, your root chakra up to receive those intentions as you drink that water. And that is such a beautiful way to invite the divine into our space even more. then I want to talk about how we can do this in our evening routines. Before bed, right? Bedtime can often, or right before bed can often be a very challenging time because we are most tired. So our kind of mental defenses are not as strong at the end of the day, which generally means that people have more anxiety at the end of the day. People feel more on edge, more anxious, frustrated, things like that at the end of the day. So being intentional about our evenings and the routines and during our evening can really help us have better days, can help us have better mornings and wake up more refreshed, can help us have better quality sleep at night. And so inviting the divine in when you go to sleep at night, and if you don't feel like you have enough time, it might be just carving out 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe it's turning the TV off 15, 20 minutes earlier, or putting the kids to bed 15 to 20 minutes earlier so that you can have a little bit more time to yourself. Because when you are more nourished and when your cup is more full, then you have more to give others. You are more present for your loved ones and you have more of your love to give. So being able to really be intentional and aware of what your evenings look like and trying to allow them to be as calm as possible, as relaxing as possible, as little drama and busyness as possible. So spending some time doing deep breathing and allowing your breathing to slow down, allowing your heart rate to slow down, allowing your mind to slow down. Often we have that monkey mind that is just racing at the end of the day about all the things we didn't get to, or all the things that we fell short on, or all the things that we feel behind on, or all of the stress and pressure of the next day. And so just taking a moment to acknowledge that those things might exist, maybe even writing them down and putting them down on paper so you don't have to keep them spinning in your head, but then letting them go and putting them down, metaphorically or literally, and slowing down your thoughts, slowing down your breathing, slowing down your heart rate by doing those things. And allowing yourself to have a little bit more of a nourishing environment for yourself. So maybe that means lighting a candle in your bathroom as you are going about your evening routine. Maybe it means playing some calming or soothing music before you go to bed, or like beach waves or rain or something like that. One of my favorite things to do is after I wash my face at night, I also love to do gua sha, which is like using rose quartz or jade. They make different stones and crystals to do gua sha, but it's a type of tool. I keep my tools in the freezer, and so use a certain type of oil, and then I use these tools on my face, and it helps relieve tension. It helps just relax the face. It feels so good, especially that cold stone. Like if you have any inflammation, or for myself, I struggle with sinus stuff and allergies. So being able to use the gua sha stones helps open up my sinuses so I can breathe better at night, so I can sleep better at night, right? And so being able to really engage in this process and being intentional. So the oil that I use, I will put a little bit on my hands and then I'll rub it together, and then I take a big deep breath in. And so it's a really nice, warm and soothing scent, which allows me to then really relax. And as I do that, I'm intentional about dropping my shoulders and allowing myself to really have this moment of, right? Just taking that big deep breath, allowing that end of the day to really be fully present and let go of the day. And so I'll put this oil on, and then I'll use my gua sha tool and allow myself to just have this quiet moment with myself. Sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes I just allow there to be peace and quiet, because part of my job is listening a lot, listening to what people say, as well as listening to what they don't say. And so sometimes just having that peace and quiet at the end of our day is really important for our brains to be able to fully relax and fully surrender to peace, which it is not used to most of the time, right? And so allowing this nighttime routine, or when you're brushing your teeth, to be a little bit more nourishing instead of rushing through brushing your teeth or brushing your hair, washing your face before you go to bed. Slowing this process down even by 2 to 5 minutes and allowing yourself to just have a little bit more breathing room. Allowing yourself to be a little bit more present for yourself. Allowing yourself to connect with your ancestors, with your spirit team, and being able to say, hey, thanks. Thanks for guiding me through another day. Thanks for helping me be present today. Thanks for showing me the way and showing me how to move throughout this day, how to speak up and say what's on my mind, right? And so being intentional about these connections and inviting the divine to be a part of this space. And I also encourage you to ask the divine how they would like you to create more of an atmosphere for them in your life. Maybe it's sitting down and creating an altar for them, or for an ancestor in particular, or for a particular ascended master that you're working with. Maybe they want you to sit down in meditation for 15-20 minutes a day, just to sit and listen to them, to be present with them. Maybe it's they want you to spend more time in nature, spend more time allowing yourself to be silent and still in nature, which I know is not always easy. That's something that I struggle with a lot, being still sometimes, because I love creating and I love being of service to the world. And so stillness sometimes is very hard for me. However, it's very powerful medicine. And when we are still, that's when we have more of an opportunity to connect with the divine and feel connected and in a more deeply intimate way, when we can really receive more clearly those messages because we don't have so much of that busyness going on in the background. And so being able to be intentional about your nighttime process and being able to, allow it to be a nurturing evening routine. Allow yourself to be soothed by the routines that you have in your life, and allow them to be, routines that help you embody the person that you want to be. And so really considering that, really thinking about how are the routines and the rhythms in your life helping you and adding to you being successful, helping you be the person that you want to be, or where might they be hindering you? Where might they be holding you back or keeping you from being able to thrive in your life? And so checking in with these different routines and being able to see how you can invite in more of the divine and create more of this atmosphere for you to experience a connection with the sacred nature of yourself, of the sacred nature of the world around you, right? Even just going and sitting outside in a field of flowers, right? And being able to see all of the sacred nature that is around you. It's such a beautiful way to connect more deeply to yourself and the world around you, and just being able to take in all of the species of just that one little space, right? All of the different plant life and animal life that exists there, right? So creating a relationship with the divine does not have to be a complicated thing. It is not meant to be a hard or a challenging thing. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You don't have to go to, week-long retreats to have a relationship and a connection with the divine. You can do this every single day by what you are already doing, by adding more intention, by slowing down, by giving yourself more space in your life to show up. Knowing that you have plenty of time, knowing that you don't have to rush, knowing that there isn't running out of time, and that everything is unfolding in the most perfect divine order and timing, and being able to trust in what that is. So I hope you enjoyed this live tonight, or if you catch the replay, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you learn from this and what you will take away from this, and how you will be inviting more of the divine in your own life and being able to create more of this atmosphere of sacred and divine in your own life. And if you are interested in learning more about this and working with me, I invite you to apply to the link in my bio. I have 2 ways of working with me, either through my group container or through my one-to-one sacred sessions. Either way, you're going to get powerful transformation and powerful sacred self-care to be able to really show up for yourself in much, much more powerful ways, in much more nourishing ways that really help you embody who you are at your most authentic, at your most divine, at your most integrated and harmonious self. So, if you are looking for more support in your life to help you find more peace, to find more calm, then I invite you to apply through the link in my bio today. It was such a pleasure to be here with you tonight, and I will see you on Thursday.